Get on in here. I have my tea. This is another one of my favorite cups. It's very thin. It's almost like a piece of china, but it's made out of clay, and it's kind of a neat little glaze on it, and I got a little thumb holder here. So get on in here. I got my Earl Grey with some hot melt mix in it. Two things: little ketones, and I just got a blood sugar reading that was below 100. My first one ever. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I put the mic in the phone, but didn't put the mic on. Yep, I'm good. Okay. So, I got my tea, and I wasn't really saying anything, but I got my hot melt mix in my hot tea, and it's raining, getting nasty out. It's blowing up a storm. I hope we get a lot of rain because we need it. We're kind of dry. Anyway, haven't heard from Ben yet. Y'all keep praying, keep praying, keep praying. My phone's been blowing up with other people asking me if I've heard from him, but I haven't. So we're going to keep praying, folks. We're going to keep praying. Anyway, it's when we get a couple hundred people in here, we might not have to wait till a couple hundred people. I got a big mouth. That's why you heard me anyways. Anyway, so let's drink up. Lovely tea. The hot melt mix gives it a little lemon flavor. I have my teapot. Tomorrow we will not have a morning show. We always have a tea time at 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. So I'm going to pull this one. And I'm going to put my lid back on my teapot. I'm going to move it to the back. And I'm going to move this to the front, because that's what I'm going to draw out of tomorrow. I'm opening it up. So, this thing asks, what are the extra things we can do before bad weather comes? Oh, this is a good one. Well, first you can put together your emergency control journals. Yep, your emergency control journals. This is something that is going to keep you at ease. You can have in your emergency control journal, you can have a thumb drive with your pictures on it. You can have, this is in case you get evacuated. You have copies of your insurance policies. All of this can be in a red office in a bag, and these are back in stock, y'all. These are back in stock in a red office in a bag, and you keep everything, all your important papers in there. Copies of your important papers. Your really important papers need to be in a lockbox at the bank, because these strong boxes that you can have at your house that you can put things in, if they're small enough for you to hold, they're small enough for somebody to steal, or they're not going to keep papers from getting burned up. So you need a pantry that's stocked and an alternative way to cook food. I have a Dutch oven. I also have a generator, which prepares me for any storm, because I have plug-ins that I can use my crock pot or my Instapot to cook in, but I also have a fireplace. And Robert has made me a rack that goes in my fireplace so that I can cook things in my Dutch oven. I have a Dutch oven and I have iron skillets. And I have a big 16-quart big kettle. Well, it's not a kettle. It's a stainless steel pot that I can put water in and boil water if our generator doesn't work, which back last winter we had generator issues when we had a big snowstorm and the snow drifted into the air intake on our generator. So having a gallon of water per person per day. So if you have gallons of water and you can store them in your basement and underneath a stairwell, someplace that you can store water. That'll help you because we all need water to drink and some of these emergency foods, which are high in carbs. But if you don't have anything else to eat, you could do that. But let's see, what are the extra things we can do before bad weather comes? It's raining right now. It's rained at Leanne's house. It hasn't quite rained here yet. But there are a lot of things we can do. We can make sure our fireplace is clean if we have a fireplace or if we have a wood stove. Make sure your wood is dry. We had to heat our house for 3 days with a wood fireplace. We don't have a wood stove, which would have heated our house wonderfully, but we don't have a wood stove. But we do have 2 fireplaces, one in the basement and one here. Make sure those are cleaned out. We do that every couple of years. We get our fireplace clean. So bad weather can be hurricanes. You got to be ready to leave and know what you're going to take with you. Don't wait to the last minute to think. Another bad weather issue that we have in the mountains of western North Carolina is forest fires. Yep, we live in a wood-framed house, and it has cedar siding, and this cedar siding, western cedar siding, will go up in flames just like that. I wished and one day in the next few years, we may put some concrete siding on our house. Leanne's house has a concrete siding on it, which is less likely to burn in a forest fire. But we haven't had one close to the house, a bad fire, ever. There's thunder. We got thunder boomers. So let's drink up to having, being prepared in a storm. Do a search on our website for points of preparedness. Have some extra medications on hand. Sometimes we get an 18-inch storm, and when we have an 18-inch snowstorm, then we can't get out of the house for a few days. It takes a while to run the 4-wheel drive up and down the driveway to get it where you can get a car down it or even get down the driveway. And I've been stuck in the house for about a week. So having enough food in the house, having a pantry, having frozen water in water jugs in your freezer for mass will help to keep your food, and lock the door on the freezer so people just don't go opening the door when there's a power outage. Try to use up the food that's in your refrigerator freezer, not your big freezer. So yeah, ice storms in western Kentucky, when my grandmother was still alive, they had an ice storm. They didn't have power for 3 weeks. I don't think our generator would last that long. I think we've got about a week's worth of fuel in it at all times. So, yeah, there have been truck crashes and train derailments. There have been lots of reasons for people to be evacuated. So know what you're going to take with you so that you're not thinking about it. That's why the red office in a bag and putting this together for your important papers and the stuff you're going to need, and put together a go bag. The preparedness sites online or even on YouTube, just do a Google search on YouTube, or just on YouTube do a search for go bag, what you need in the event that you have to leave. You're going to need some toys and games. Think about that, having little kids in a shelter. You're going to need toys or games. You're going to need their favorite blankie or a representative blankie. You're going to need a shirt. You're going to need a change of clothes. And you're going to need, stuff to keep you dry. So you might want to put some ponchos in there if it's a rain situation. Mittens and gloves if it's winter. Having your laundry done is going to make things a breeze, because having your laundry done takes the stress off of any kind of packing, and packing in an emergency. And if you have your clothes picked out for a week and rolled up into little bundles, bam, you got it made. made in the shade. So we don't have to wait till the last minute or even the threat of a storm to get prepared. Having this go bag done with a week's worth of medication in there, just kind of take a couple of pills out of your blood pressure thing and set up a little pill thing for you. If you are on insulin or whatever, you're going to have to take your supply out of the refrigerator and take it with you, and that's going to need to stay in a little ice container, little ice box with some packs that are frozen. So folks, being prepared is going to keep you calm, which is going to keep your blood pressure down, which is going to keep your cortisol levels down, which makes your insulin go up. So there are lots of ways to take care of you and your family. And I get into Little House on the Prairie mode when we have a bad storm. I really do. I love being able to cook a big pot of beans in my fireplace or in my crock pot. If that's the case, I have one plug-in in the kitchen that works on the generator, so I can cook a big pot of beans or a big pot roast, and then we've got food. We have, it takes 72-hour kit. Yep, this is good stuff here. So folks, please be prepared. It's fall, it's hurricane season. We've already had one coming, really two if you count Houston. 2 hurricanes have been threatening the United States, and they're tough. They're really tough, but being prepared, having your go bag, having the things you need with you, you can get out of its way. So let's drink up. I love you all, and please keep praying for Ben. I've not heard from him today. It's I can't wait to hear his voice. So keep him in your prayers. We're not going to let the evil one kill him. We're not going to let that happen, because we are strong prayer warriors. You're with me here. We're going to pray him well. We're going to pray him well. So, folks, keep him in your prayers. Yeah, we do have to give it to God. But I still want to hear Ben's voice. Whew. Pray him well. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Ben is a Christian. He accepted the Lord in prison. He has been ministering to the inmates that are in his groups. And, he loves them. He loves helping people. And that's why he's being attacked. So we're going to pray him well. Pray him well. I love you all, and I will talk to you tomorrow afternoon. Try not to cry, y'all.